Another high school shooting yesterday, this one in Florida.
I'm in 6th grade, and it can be scary sometimes.
There have been about 380 school shootings.
I appreciate you talking to our community about this.
Now's the time. Get ready for the People's Podcast, the Mikey Justice Show. Y'all ready? I'm ready. All right. You don't want to miss it. There was a man that went by Mike. You like night shows. And so many people wouldn't be mad. They have to be good. And what the youth is avoid because they've been misled.
Today I'm announcing charges against the shooter's parents.
I had a 6th grader call. This is what she said.
And I really agree with your point of view.
The Mikey Justice Show starts now. All right, here we go. We live, y'all. April the 24th, 2024. The Mikey Justice Hour. How is everybody doing?
I know I'm doing all right, my brother.
All right, good. I'm hoping, you know what I'm saying, hope that's the answer on the other end for as many people as possible. We know ain't nothing perfect out here, so I ain't expecting everybody to be good, but I hope the majority of us are.
Indeed.
What's the word, my brother? Anything good going on with you since the last time we've been off this?
Man, just getting stronger and, you know, walking through my little health stuff and, you know, switched up a few medications, so.
Good, man, yeah. I'm on the same journey, my brother. You know, we getting older. I've been trying to work out a little bit more, change my diet up a little bit. It's slowly starting to drop a little bit and come on off, so.
Yeah, man.
You know, it's a process. Guess we're going to crawl before we walk.
You know, with my improved circulation, man, I think some of my hair might be growing back, brother.
I was looking at it, my brother. You know, we keeps it 100 on here. I didn't want to address that unless you go there. And since you have already opened up the discussion and decided to go there, I noticed that it's not as transparent as they like to say. Is that the word for it? I know that word is a little different around here. You know what I'm saying? You know, when we doing all kind of underhanded stuff now, we like to use that word. But when I came up, it meant being able to see through things. So, you know, as far as I came up, bro, your hair is very transparent. If I was you, I was like, now you need to, you know, either adjust that level, like my boy said, come down one more guard size. You know, like I told you, to go on Doc Rivers, you ain't took my advice yet.
Doc Rivers,
you know what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather, the lowest you can get with a line in my brother. You know what I'm saying? To keep it pushing. Yeah, you know, we ain't gonna do too much clowning and shenanigans, but we like to do that now because they don't start playing with us too much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They done threw me in social media jail and all that, man. But we gonna get to everything. For starters, man, you know how I like to do it. Shout out to everybody that's watching, family and friends, man. Hope some family watching because, like we all know, hard to get support from family, bro. You know, your people, you know. But I got a lot of new people that done hopped on the bandwagon. So if anybody new tonight checking me out for the first time, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me. I know I got one new follower on deck, Miss Glow over there at Ruler Foods.
All right, now.
One of the nicest cashiers, man. You know, I'm a plugger, so I could, you know, kind of make her watch and tune into what I'm trying to do.
Right.
But, she just so nice, man. Me and my mom go over there and do shopping from time to time. Just the nicest cashier, man. You know, it's just so appreciated to see people back with trying to give good customer service. She's friendly. She's professional. You know what I'm saying? Right. She says she's, you know, 40 years old. She don't try to hide it. She holds it real good, well put together. You know, just straight up, just all around grown chick, man. So I just appreciate her, and I took her some food over there one day. Got a chance to let her sample some of the food that was on my truck. She said she was going to do a review. I don't know, you know, when she get around to doing it. It ain't been that long, but hopefully she has something nice to say about her brother.
Right.
Yeah, but if you're watching, shout out to you, Miss Glow. Appreciate you. Just want to give my people a little bit of shine and a little Mike Justice. I wasn't gonna do one this week, but little spur of the moment type thing. And with that being said, my brother, shout out to them Classical Junior Academy Cougars and them some of the Bulldogs. Man, can't forget about my peoples, y'all.
Yeah,
you hear me? And as always, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas is in the house. What's up, y'all? You know, that was some of the bravest group of kids that I ever saw in my life, man. So I told you, every chance I get to plug them, I'm going to do it. You hear me?
Sir.
And as always, This segment of the Mikey Justice Show is brought to you by the new African Burger, the new and our favorite spokesperson, number 45. Oh, try my new African burger. Oh, it's delicious. Like we say, it comes with black beans, green lettuce, and red ketchup. Oh, this little burger is delicious. Try my little African
It's the
burger.
best burger.
It's the best burger you're ever going to have. I know because I made it myself. Put the camera on me when I take a bite of it. That African burger is delicious. Try my little African burger.
Nobody else has any credibility. Don't trust any burger you get anywhere else.
Yeah, man. I was about to put out an APB on your boy, Chief Tracy, man. I hadn't been seeing him in a while. You heard me?
Yeah, he been kind of missing in action.
Yeah, bro. And they got the little thing going on now where they thinking of they're voting whether or not I guess the city or whoever should keep control of the police department.
Mm-hmm.
Man, like I said, bro, I don't see him out there that much. I know this is a high crime area and it's a very publicized job, but just like Dotson and some of the ones that came before him, that I was waiting on their time to get up out of there.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't no different. I can't wait till his time over. You hear me?
Wow.
I liked it more or less when they had hired from within. I mean, Dotson at the end, he got more in tune with the people, and he started really being a really good chief.
Yeah.
Dan Ison was good. I liked even when they promoted Lieutenant Michael Sack. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence O'Toole, like you say, man, from being a former officer, bro, just the more you engage with the people and the better rapport you have with them, the better it makes for the job and the job that they can do. You hear me?
It don't make it a us against them situation or military state.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be a part of the community you policing.
And right when I was going to say something about not seeing them, man, then all of a sudden I start turning on the news, and like you say, those town hall meetings that they announce on the day of the meeting that nobody can get to and all this other stuff, then he started kind of popping up. But I was still telling people, I was like, I'm still kind of unhappy with him because he didn't do like some of those old chiefs did. They were out there when it was crime going on. They were the spokespeople. They would make statements. You would just see them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Their presence in the community was way more visible. You hear me? And I don't think I see him out there enough for the type of job that he's supposed to be doing with a high crime area and stuff like that, man.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see him. So I was kind of just a little like, dang, where is dude? Like, where's Waldo, man? I ain't seeing him. You hear me?
Even when some of the chiefs said the wrong stuff, at least they said something.
Yeah, and that was the last that I remember of him saying the wrong thing. When they had the little accident when they crashed into the building.
Yeah.
If they wasn't the LGBTQ community and all this wouldn't even be nothing to talk about. And moving on into that subject, man, that I don't really like to go there with, man, but I seen on the news today where they had a mother and a grandmother that had lost their daughter because of one of those LGBTQ relationships going bad, domestic violence. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
And what happened is the girl that got killed was the best friend of the girl that was the victim. And she called her up and was like, my maid or my spouse, I don't know the correct term that they use, but she said that they had a fight and, her spouse or partner, whoever jumped on her and called her best friend, and she came over there thinking she was just going to pick her up or whatever. I guess she ended up getting out the car and knocking on the door. But they said after she walked away, the other female fired a shot through the door and killed the young lady. Didn't have nothing to do with it. Got caught in the crossfire. You hear me?
Yeah.
Bro, that's what I'll be like, man. Domestic violence, bro, is a bad situation to run up on. You hear me?
Yeah.
Like, and when I say domestic, that means like what is
in the home?
Yeah, in the home, man. Because other people, they don't get it. They always think it means like a couple type thing, relationship wise. When you say domestic violence, domestic is within your home. It could be your family and anything.
Right.
And those people have a really strong bond and relationship. It's sister and brother. It's friend. It's all kind of stuff, man. Yeah. So usually when you come there, that looking like authority and thinking you're going to be the person that's going to mediate the situation, you end up turning into the trouble.
Yeah.
I don't know why it ends up that way, but that's the way it go. Yeah. So that's like one that I hope people will learn from some situation like that, man. If you're gonna go over there and try to get your friend, stay in the car, call the police if you can. That's the one thing that I have a problem with now, man. Like, they know the problems, like with opioids. They know that the school fights have been in the media a lot. They know all that stuff going on, man. But where are the the solutions to those problems?
Right.
What are the programs that can help mediate stuff? Where is the tip line and everything that you can call and all that stuff? It's just too hard to get involved, man. And we're going to get into that in a minute, man. But first thing I was going to just talk about before we moved on was the red light cameras again, man. Because I seen I think she's an older woman, Sharon Tyus. Remember old Sharon Tyus that we saw over at the Tandy at the boxing thing? She was opposing the red light cameras and saying that she was having issues with them because she don't think it's going to be effective and it's not going to work. And all the people that we saw that were getting interviewed, man, they were saying the same thing pretty much, that they don't think it's going to work. Back to the you can't prove who's driving. Of course, they said they have more advanced technology that'll help them zoom in more on who's driving. We done had that same conversation and discussion several times that if you own the car, you should be responsible for what going on with it. Now, whether you get the money from somebody else and be able to hold them accountable, that's something that y'all got to deal with on a personal level. But you know what I'm saying? And if you don't feel like it's nobody that's responsible enough to step up and say that I did make a mistake and handle it like an adult, then like we say, don't pass them your keys. Yeah. You know, we ain't got to keep on harping over that over and over. If that don't make sense to the people, I don't know what to tell them. You know what I'm saying?
I think they probably about some money or something, man, because like you say, you can make it work with the law, but I think they probably more on who gonna get the money and
all of that stuff, man. And they like people ain't gonna pay it and blah blah blah. I was like, yeah, but if y'all start holding people accountable, like all these people that's violating their probation and parole hundreds of times and all that, stop giving people slaps on the wrist. You know, when people, little youngsters, are going out here murdering people and everything else, releasing them to their parents and everything else. Start making people get points on those licenses, pay money, pay fines. Start holding those people, whoever that owns that car, responsible. You hear me? Because like I was telling one of my former coworkers and stuff the other day, I said it's all different ways, you know, how that body work. I said, you know how they say the way through a man's heart through his stomach. I said, yeah, and it's something about below that waist when you start hitting people in them pockets and everything else. You hear me? I said, it's just mighty funny how all of a sudden it make people minds start getting right. You hear me? So so I
get too many of them hits.
You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden when you have to start going through something and you got to feel a little bit of something, we just magically get it, you know. So that's why I was like, man, it's on y'all. And then, you know, talking with my people, they made a lot of interesting points as well, man. They like, y'all always talking about the threats and danger that happen when they're out here chasing people and trying to catch them like that. So, you know, for one, you claim you don't have enough officers. So it's not about, you know, I think it's way past that back and forth of how people personally feel about it. I think at this point, with the Janae Edmondson situation, the two young ladies getting killed with the Drake concert and all that, I think it's to the point where something needs to be done. It's about results at this point. All that personal about back and forth and who think it is and ain't going to work, it's time to put it into play, try and see what it's going to do.
Yeah, and make the changes to make it work. Yeah. Like if it don't work, then make the changes to make it work.
Bro, it's better than doing nothing. Like we said, let's see those numbers when they always want to glorify and glamorize numbers when it come down to the crime and murders and all that. Glamorize and show the difference between accidents and everything that done happen on Natural Bridge since they put the turnabouts and everything. I guarantee those numbers are down. Yeah. You hear me? But once again, you hear me? That don't get the same type of arousal or whatever they want to call from the people. They don't get the people going as much. They don't make as much conversation. You hear me? Yeah, it's not. It's cute, you know. So you'll never hear about nothing like that, man. But I meant to mention old Hayden, man. While we was talking about the Chiefs, I saw him on the news the other day. Old former St. Louis Police Chief, old John Hayden.
About the integrity of his officers.
Yeah, old Muffin Mouth, as we used to like to call him. But yeah, man, I had a whole different level of respect and love for him. He had showed up at the Tamaris Bohannon trial.
Okay.
He said he just had to be there, man, and I understand. He couldn't really call it down like he want, bro, but I pretty much know how he felt. And I'm saying that because do you remember us being right there when that happened? Yeah. We was down there over on Grand. Yeah. We was with OTS, yes, a friend of the show. We was finna go to Pizza Head. It was during the pandemic. I remember us walking, me going to Amico over that way and getting some gas, getting out the car, and us hearing the shot and all the commotion and just, I'm like, bro, something critical has happened. You hear me? I also remember one of our classmates, old Officer Allen, man, being one of the first police that I saw responding to that situation, and me just thinking like, what if that would have been him?
Yeah.
And still feeling the same type of emotion, knowing that it was an officer that was just doing his job that got gunned down like that day. You hear me? I think, being honest, bro, I think they trying to play the whole mental stuff with old boy and all that. And don't get me wrong, mental health is at an all-time high now. You know, people's mental, but when I think about Kevin Johnson and McEntee and everybody else, man, when it's on the other side, they would have easily called that some type of hate crime, and I feel like it was. You hear me?
Yeah.
You know, and I once again, it don't mean that it always got to be black and white, because the way that Trenton Forrester ambushed Blake Snyder, I think it was hate against the police, you know, authority. So it's the same thing. It was still a hate crime. You know, when you use that term, everybody want to put it on that scale, black and white, whatever. You know, but I think he disrespected. Trent Foster disrespected Blake Snyder's authority, and this guy Kenworthy disrespected Tamaris Bohannon's authority, him as a police officer, you hear me? And as a man. And I know why Hayden was there, man, because you know, you can't judge a book by its cover, man. But when you saw the foundation, his family, his kids, his parents being older and everything, them telling why he joined the force and why he got involved and everything, man, maybe I'm wrong, man, but I seen a pretty decent guy when they showed that guy there. You hear me? And I felt very bad, because I don't think that he had an ounce of being a dirty cop or anything like that. Anytime you hear anybody speak on his behalf, I mean, they're really showing up. You hear me? And I like the whole fact that they didn't try to move it nowhere. It happened here, let it go down here, deal with it. You hear me? And bro, I just hope it's justice for that guy. But I really appreciated seeing Hayden out there, man, because he was like, that was one of the hardest days that he ever worked as a chief. You hear me?
Yeah.
To see somebody, you know, that caliber, you know, that type of brother get gunned down like that. It was a real sad day, man. Yeah, but moving on. What else did I want to talk about here, man? Yeah, like I was saying before we move on with these red light cameras, man. Once again, it eliminate the chasing people and all that stuff, and then once again, I think it combats the whole problem of not having enough people. You hear me? You know, if you don't have enough people to fight the crime, you have to do something.
Yeah, you got to use some tools to help you. To me, it's no different than the little shot spotters and stuff like that.
Yeah, it is. It's just an effective way to try to get better results, and I'm all for it, man. You know, sharing tires and a lot of the people, once again, another argument that they were making is that everybody's saying, you know, basically F the camera, we want to see boots on the ground and see people out there. You don't have enough people. Yeah. So when murder going up and you know, car accidents and all that going down, then what are they going to do? You hear me? You know, like I said, you're going to have the whole argument of they should be out here fighting more serious crimes and murder. They tripping off people with plates. Right. And I just be tripping off, man, just like we say, everything on the big scale and the small scale that go on in this country, in this world, is the same. You know, and I don't know if people really understand that, bro. Like we say, it's Crips, it's Bloods, it's gangs, it's whatever they call it now. I don't know if, you know, I don't hear that too much, but it's gangs out here. You hear me? Yeah. It's posses, it's groups, it's clicking up, and people do that, man. That's because they're cowards. You hear me? And they have to be a part of something, you know, so they can feel protected.
Right. Strength in numbers.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of people just, you know, they cling on to so much garbage. They're so typical. They want to hop on the bandwagon. They want to do what everybody else do. You hear me? Because, you know, I've learned, man, that you know, social media, us being lazy, us being typical, and all of this stuff, man, the music, all the trash that they put like on the internet and TV, man, has really brainwashed people. And they cannot have their own way of thinking. Only people that are in it to try to manipulate the system and get over and what they call it, man, cut corners all the time, are the people who always oppose the stuff making sense and going right. Right. You hear me? Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you make it a law, then I can't use that loophole no more.
Yeah, you know, like the guy on the commercial. Well, it wasn't the commercial, but basically the news segment. He like the same people that was standing there going off and opposing you know, the red light cameras and them putting them back in play. He said when they pulled off, they got 3-4 years behind on a temp tag and all that, man.
Yeah.
So it's only the people that want to manipulate the system and get over that have a problem with everything. You hear me?
Yeah.
Only the coward that get all the beef going and putting out all that negative energy is the one hollering about he should be able to carry his pistol, his little gun. Anybody that's really into protecting themselves and doing it the right way have no problem with taking the class, paying for a permit, getting proper locks for it. You hear me?
Yeah.
It's only the people that's out here with the garbage that's keeping all this mess going, man. Moving on to the next segment, man. Too hard to get involved. Yeah, once again, that's a reason why I've seen exactly why St. Louis go the way that it go. And yeah, but before I lose them, man, I want to make sure they understand what we saying about everything that go on the big scale is the same on the small. Like we say, it's the gangs and all that stuff, man. You know, you have Democrat and Republicans. They're fighting over what they claim that they're fighting over,
Right.
Laws and all that other stuff and all that. No,
Yeah, and
they,
liberties and all of that. Yeah.
we know what they're fighting over. Like we say, gangs are fighting over drugs. They're fighting over opioids and territories. Countries are fighting over land and oil. It's the same thing. It's, y'all just fighting over little blocks and little patches of land. They're fighting over big cities and countries and whole worlds. You hear me?
Right.
But it's the same type of stuff. Somebody wants power. Somebody wants control. Somebody wants all the money. Somebody, it's monopoly. Somebody want to be the banker, have all the chips. Somebody want to be the big dog. You hear me?
Yeah.
Everybody want to run the show. So it's all a power trip to try to, you know, be able to run that show. I was like, all these people that supporting like those Republican parties and supporting 45, man, most of it is because they're brainwashed into believing that all of this stuff, that bad rhetoric, that dictatorship, and everything that's they claiming is about to come into play is not going to affect them.
Right.
If I support it and I roll with it and act like I'm a part of it, it won't affect me as bad. I'm down with what you hear me?
Yeah.
The popular thing is to hate on LeBron and roll with Jordan. You hear me? I don't even care if today I go to the store and I see a pair of LeBrons and they look better than Jordans or whatever, and I know that I really want these shoes. This not gonna be the one to turn the heads and give me the most envy and make everybody, you know, start cashew riding. So,
Right.
so I'm gonna go ahead and get the Jordans. You hear me? We all about the branding and all of that now. You hear me?
Yeah.
I was just tripping off of it. I said, man, they done tried to put me in social media jail, bro. Every time I post something now that halfway makes sense, they try to block it. They try to censor me. They try to do all this other stuff, man. I say, boy, it's so bad now, man. Social media has become victim to social media. You hear me? Facebook's supposed to be where you can have your own point of view, your own space and all that. But once people start turning it into a business and it's about the likes and the clicks, they so scared to sacrifice their brand. You hear me?
Right.
I mean, bro, I had a post up there saying I don't like, you know, all of that old back and forth, who's better and tension and just putting out those fake debates. I say because as much as people think it's just for entertainment and it's just small time type of stuff, the public take that type of stuff, run with it and turn it into something else.
Right.
You hear me? So I was like, it's just better stuff to put out here. You know what I'm saying? Just focus on better stuff, and people will just get off of so much garbage, man. And when I put that in there, I said I don't like that unnecessary beef because that's the type of stuff that got Biggie and Pac killed, man. Because I used the word "kill." Do you know that they blacked out every comment that I made and all kind of stuff? So I took it out and put that's the kind of stuff that has gotten people caught up,
Right.
and hit that same send button and all of that stuff. Went right back into play. You know, all my comments went back up there. They was giving me threats, talking about they were going to permanently shut me down, and if I didn't make an appeal right now and in the next 24 hours that I would permanently get shut down and all this.
Yeah.
Bro, you know me. I was like, man, I'm going to figure out something. We're going to do like everybody else. We're going to make another page, a
Right.
fake page. You
Whatever.
can shut me down, but you can't shut my show down, and you can't shut my movement down. You
Right.
know? So I was like, man, what would I do, bro? I can't if I couldn't be Mikey Justice no more. You know,
Right.
where would I take that, bro? I was thinking about branding the show all over, us having to do this whole new thing. So I was like, man, we done with this Mikey Justice thing, bro. We finna scrap the whole idea. You heard me? Yeah, y'all heard me. Yeah, we done. They just on us too hard. We either finna be the Mikey Douglas show or just something totally different. You hear me?
Yeah.
So I was thinking about names, man. What can we change to, and where can we take this thing, man, and where can we go with it? You hear me?
Yeah,
And I thought about it, man. I was like, well, we two brothers that like to, you know, Jeff a little bit on camera, give our little opinion about things, man. We very opinionated and stuff like that. So I was like, man, where can we go with this thing? So I decided, I was like, man, Shiskel and Ebert, bro. I said, that's going to be our new name, the new name of our show.
I like that, bro.
And the reason why I thought about that, man, I said, if anybody been watching us, they know that you've been known to have a few accidents on the camera and have a little something else down in your underwear, my brother. So
In the words of my niece,
something else down in the drawers. You know what I'm saying? My brother said he has a little problem sometimes. That's why I have implemented breaks in the show, and we will be doing one coming up very soon. A little pause for the cause because my man say sometimes he leave a little something in the drawers. So you know, on his next birthday, I will be buying him his first box of dude wipes. So for that reason, I decided that he's going to be shit school. And then I was like, it fit, you know, because he's going bald.
Right.
He bald head. If y'all don't, I mean, he don't put himself on camera too much. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. You know,
You'll never prove it.
that's what you think. And then I said, well, you know, my opinion is better than his. So if y'all remember Siskel and Ebert, Siskel was the smart one. You know what I'm saying? He was a little more fluffy than Ebert was the smart one. He was a little more fluffy than Siskel, but you know what I'm saying? But that's just one I thought of. If y'all got any names for our new show, if they banned us, then y'all hit us up, 314-282-5086.
Right.
Yeah, and speaking of 314-282-5086, y'all can call in and play 3 out of 5 if you want to. That's if you subscribe to my YouTube channel or you follow me on Facebook and you want to win $50, you call in and you play 3 out of 5. I ask you 5 I like to say other damn this and if you get 3 of them out of the 5, and you win $50. And if you're smart enough to get all 5 right, then win $100. We double the money. But like I said, it's only a couple of stipulations. You gotta be following me, subscribe to me, something like that, and you gotta make sure you have Cash App because we gotta have some way of sending you the money. And just know that tell your weed man, your dope man that he had to wait till we get off the air. Don't start getting in your feelings thinking we lying and we ain't gonna give you the money and all that stuff.
Right.
We trying to be, like I said, transparent around here.
Right.
Bro, I hate that word. Now you hear me? I was like, man, only thing that's transparent is the truth, man.
Yeah.
Whether you trying to fool yourself, fool somebody else, you can't fool yourself, you can't fool the Most High, man.
Yeah.
Only thing that's transparent is the truth. Why everybody that use that word now, man? It just seems like an old lying word. I don't trust you, man. If you say that, you hear me?
Just to be totally transparent.
Yeah.
That's like all due respect.
Yeah. You hear me? Parent, we ain't even gonna get on that. You hear me?
Yeah.
Bro, I seen my homegirl Elena was somebody posted that a broken parent is a child's first worst enemy, something to that effect, bro. And I was like, man, that's so real. You hear me?
Yeah.
I say, you know how these young girls, they out here looking for something they never gonna get back, bro. I be like, man, if you ain't do your job as a parent and you fail these kids and they get out here and trying to start their own and everything and get pregnant, have babies, man, they still be bitter and they still be too caught up in it and trying to get back something they missed.
Yeah.
It's still about their time. You hear me? That's why you had the parents that letting the kids go to the Airbnb and turning up and all that because they on the same stuff. You hear me?
I ain't gonna hide nothing from my kids.
I was just talking to my lady. I say, it's so crazy because I said if we wanted to look young, we could go slap all the filters, the eyelashes on. I could throw on the skull cap, throw my hat to the back, bling bling, my ears on now, get tatted up. I said, and we'll fit right in with the same generation like everybody else. You hear me? We ain't that far removed from it because it hasn't changed a lot. You hear me? I said, man, the lingo the same, the music still the same, the attitude the same, the mentality the same. You hear me? We was rocking J's 20 years ago. It's still all about them now. You still get killed over a perm today. You hear me? Ain't nothing changed, man. I told her, I said, we just changed the words up and try to act like we done invented something new. Back in the day, we would say you play a hating. Now they so lazy and chop everything up. Now you just hate. You ain't play a hating. You just hate. You hear me?
Right.
Everything. I said, remember back in the day, all we would say is my dude this, my dude that.
Yeah.
Now when I read all the posts, my boy.
Yeah.
Now you're not a dude no more. You're a boy. You hear me? It's the same, but it changed. I told people like how white people do it. Basically, you hear me? I said they slang and they little derogatory words is always some type of body part or something. You ever tripped over that? Man, I'll be at the job. They'll be like, "Oh, Ed, could you give me another set of pancakes? This guy's an effing dick. He's a cunt." You know, there's always some moist body part. You hear me? So I asked my lady. I said, "So what is left? Is next he's a breast? Is he? Oh, this guy's like." And I thought about what they saying. You hear me? You meow, but they use another word. Like you just soft. You just. Oh, he's a effing. Okay, I don't know why they choose body parts, but that's how they go with it. So you've been the ass, you've been the cunt, you've been the DICK. So you've been the meow. So only body part that's left next, if y'all get the clowning, you're gonna probably be a pair of breast, but that other word they use,
right?
From your pitch to
your imagination.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, man, too hard to get involved, man. I'm so disappointed with St. Louis, man. Bro, we've been calling people left and right trying to give a perspective on that whole Hazelwood fight. We didn't like the way the chief was talking about the accident that if it wasn't members of the LGBTQ and all this whole other stuff, man, that it wouldn't be no topic or nothing, no discussion if it wasn't none of that. I think that's garbage. I think if nobody's above the law, if they crashed into those people building, they still should have had to take a sobriety test. You know what I'm saying? When I called them about the Kayla Alex situation, it was like, yeah, but how about y'all use that same energy that y'all use when y'all dogging us and dogging our race? Oh, y'all talking about more police and gun violence and Second Amendment rights. We don't want to hear none of that when y'all out here doing it to yourself. Y'all out here shooting each other. Y'all doing murders, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, I want to see that same energy. You had officers stealing time. You hear me? Playing with a gun, which we see in St. Louis. Too many kids have fell victim to violence. We see that on TV every time you turn on the news. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, if a parent, a trained police officer, military people, and people that have that type of, background don't know how to properly handle a gun, then it's not for kids, period. I'm not for that 17 and none of that. Handling a gun is something that's it takes a lot of responsibility. You could take somebody's life. So to me, it's nothing that should be involving a kid. Kids should be just all the way 100% out of that equation to me. You hear me? Grown people are responsible for taking care of children. Your mama, your daddy, or whoever you with, if you need that type of protection on you, you hear me? Right. And if it's not like that, wherever you sending your kids should provide that type of protection for them. Other than that, I don't know what to tell you. Keep them at home like it's the pandemic all over, but turning into the Wild Wild West, man, I don't think it's the solution.
You see they just passed that thing in Tennessee, man, where the teachers could carry now.
Nah, bro, I'm missing so much stuff. I was gonna tell you to put a clip up of I was watching Indisputable with Rashad Ritchie or whatever, and he showed that the wife and that mother of those guys who murdered Ahmaud Arbery, that they were raising money. They had raised up to $40,000 to fight the legal, help fight the legal expenses in their case, and they made it like that guy was a criminal basically when he was jogging through that neighborhood. He had like some type of criminal type of presence. They thought he was up to something, and just for that reason, they tried to make a citizen arrest on him that went the wrong way and resulted in Mr. Arbery losing his life, not being murdered. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? Come on, they like they said, y'all done got charged with this stuff. People out there filming it, you know what it was. You hear me? But he was just talking about how disgusting it is and how racist this country is, man, and divided we are to sit back and collect money for something like that. And I sat back and I watched it with 45. It's nothing, it don't surprise me. But it is still very distasteful or disgusting, if that's the word. Yeah,
distasteful at the least. That you would use something like that to try to capitalize off of.
Yes, sir. I felt the same way, man. It's no different than those people that be out here talking about they got cancer and starting GoFundMes and buking people and taking money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Once again, man, only thing that's transparent is the truth. And you can't lie to yourself and you can't lie to the Most High. When you moving like that, man, you got something way bigger to deal with than you ever would know. Yeah. More power to you if that's how you choose to move, but I don't choose to get down like that. Yeah. No, it's not for me, bro. With that being said, man, like I said, once we try to contact these news people about all these problems they claiming going on, because like I said, I don't see no I don't see no solution. You know, if they know that crime is so high here, you would expect them to have different programs where people could feel safe when they have to give tips about little crimes and murders they hear about. They sacrifice the people that try to get out here and say something. That's why they get afraid and they don't say nothing. It's too hard to get involved, man.
Yeah.
You hear me? Every time you call the news people, you getting the answering service. You hear me?
Yeah.
You call 911, you getting the answering service. They putting you on hold. It's too hard to get involved. You hear me?
Yeah.
Every time you send somebody a letter, man, you've done it. I've done it. You hear me?
Yeah.
You're getting back that same little typical
Automated
little
response.
automated
Yeah.
response.
And by the way,
we'll
follow
get back
me
to
on Facebook and subscribe to my email.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All that promoting themselves and everything else, man,
Mm-hmm.
it's always a little bit extra. So, you know, I got accused of virtual signaling online when they was trying to ban me and block me, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I gotta have the receipt, man. I didn't know what the hell that mean. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
I'm like, that's another one of the like last time when we learned about the term. What was that?
Performative
Sharing and all of
Yeah.
this stuff. I was like, man, what the hell are they saying? They was like, that ain't gonna get you nowhere. You do better using all caps when you make your post and do this and do that. But you know. What they say, virtual signaling ain't where it's at. So you know me, I gotta go Google it. I'm like, what the
Right.
hell is virtual signaling? They said that's when anybody basically tries to prove how socially aware or conscious they are. You hear me? And make statements in regards to politics, racial and social injustice. You hear me? They basically tried to tell me, like the one guy, he was trying to make the point to me, like, we understand that you trying to speak something positive and educate your people and tell them what's up, but basically people don't want to hear it. like the garbage is where it's at, and if you don't like this type of discussion, don't come into these type of chats. Don't leave your little comments. Don't try to clear nothing up. So I thought about it. I said, man, that's why I made the statement earlier that social media has fallen victim to social media. You hear me? Before they let you speak the truth and sacrifice their brand, they're gonna ban you and roll with the garbage. You hear me?
Yeah.
I was trying to get them to understand that, bro. Remember that one message that I showed you that they tried to block? It had nothing disrespectful in it. I wish we would have brought it back to them, man.
Yeah.
It's always a counteract. You know what I'm saying? When I say trickle down, my post was always in response to those people cussing and coming at me all sideways, but they act like they didn't see any of that.
Right, yeah.
They only see the clap back. You hear me?
Yeah.
Basketball. You didn't see old boy slap me, kick me out of the cashews.
Right.
You just seen when I cocked back and slapped the dog about it.
Right.
You hear me? So
Yeah.
I got kicked out the game. So, but man, it's so crazy, man. It's so crazy. They won't follow up with nothing, but the whole thing, I was like, nah, it sounded negative to me. So I kept on researching and looking because I was like, I want to get the street definition of it and get some meat on that sandwich. What the hell is virtual signaling? What was this guy trying to say to me? And use your caps and all that, because I told you I almost got messed around for being stupid. Break
Right.
yourself, you hear me?
Yeah.
I told you when I asked old girl to watch and check out my videos, she was like, oh,
Yeah,
say
say
less.
less. Yeah.
And I'm like, say less. All I did was ask you to check out the damn, what is you going off on me for?
Right.
But I didn't know, so
Yeah.
I had to apologize and eat a little booty on that one on the air, but I ain't mad. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It is what it is. But yeah, man, I wanted you to. That's what the negative part of it was, man. Them saying that those people who try to prove their social awareness, we're all about the likes and the clicks because we don't get out here and we don't really get involved. I wanted to check the draws up off of homie. You hear me?
Yeah.
Like, dude, I've been doing this whole Mikey Justice movement for almost 10 years now.
Yeah.
Ever since the social injustice in Ferguson,
Yeah.
Michael Brown case, man. We had 7 years of us making videos, encouraging youngsters to vote, get out here passing out food, doing all kind of stuff. 7 years before we even decided to do one episode of the Mikey Justice show.
Right.
You hear me?
Yeah.
So all the people that don't know, that's your business, but we got the receipt. Virtual signaling, no, we've been out here. They just make it too hard to get involved.
Yeah.
I was going to have my man, well, we were going to put it on the screen, but it's a little bit small. I don't know if you guys would be able to read it like I want you to read it and effective, and I know that some of us are a little bit lazy, and I know that, but we're going to get into that later. So I was going to have my man Phil read off some of these letters that we tried to send to some of the prominent figures and people that are in control around here and try to shake a few things up and make a few things change. Phil, read the first letter off for my brother.
Yeah, this is the one we sent for Marnice the Clue.
Okay, yeah, we were just trying to give them a whole perspective. They were trying to say whether or not the young lady should be tried as an adult, and we sit up here and we was like, that's kind of a little backwards because you just had a young man that was out on that escaped juvenile custody that did a murder. So I was trying to get them to understand. I was like, by the criteria that you guys are putting out there, or you saying how you determine whether or not they get charged as an adult or whatever. I was like, this young lady don't fit that in no kind of way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, she didn't murder nobody. She's not a repeat offender. This person has left authority or custody, escaped, done committed a murder. They don't want to put the person's information out because they're a minor.
Right.
I was like, anybody that's killing people and escaping authority, they're not a threat to the public. So I asked them,
They
I was like, ain't
definitely a
that
threat.
backwards? Y'all were definitely supposed to release that person's information. Y'all have it backwards. Y'all do all kind of stuff that don't make sense. So when I tried to tell them, I'm like, how can I get on one of these shows, the Pulse and stuff like that they got going on here? How can we give our take on how we feel as citizens, taxpayers, as this community, as that village that they say it take all the time.
Right.
And their response to me basically was that I don't have enough status for them to accept my opinion on certain things. And who are you, basically? You hear me? And once again, I checked the draws off of them because I've been out here. I've been trying to establish a relationship with the news over time, over and over. I tried to give them several stories. You hear me?
Yeah.
They are very familiar with who I am. So all that playing crazy and all that, I didn't go for it. But yeah, after we sent them one of these letters that we got no response for. This is just a receipt when people say that us virtual signaling is just us making a bunch of noise but not really getting out here trying to do anything. We had a receipt. Read the letter for my man.
All right. To whom it may concern, please, if you see this message, be kind enough to take a few seconds and actually read it. I am contacting you in regard to the Hazelwood school fight. So for starters, my name is Mike E. Justice. If you are anybody of significance in St. Louis, I've probably contacted you before. I am a community activist, nonviolence advocate, etc. I do a weekly podcast on social media. But back to the purpose of this letter. In regard to this matter, I've tried several times to reach out to our local news media, channels 2, 5, 4, 11, and 30. Several times I got an automated system that said, leave a message and someone will call you back. As of yet, I haven't gotten a response. KMOV was the only time I got to talk to a live person. I was told that we don't take perspective from people unless there are lawyers or people with status or certain credentials. In so many words, they basically said that people whose opinion they want, they go to them. They don't go to the news. After explaining that I wasn't just anybody and that I've been doing this for over 7 years now, the reporter allowed me a couple of minutes to explain where I was going with this. I told her that I finally got to watch the unedited version of the fight. And as tragic as it was, there are many things to consider. I'm referring to whether she, Marnice, should be charged as an adult. I saw a story today that said there are several factors that play a part in this decision. Severity of the crime was one. In the video, you see several people fighting. And in the heat of the moment, you'll do anything to protect yourself. Another factor was maturity of the teen or teens involved. Don't know how you determine someone's maturity level, but the victim was the older of the two. This was not an assault. This was an incident that escalated over several months, even resulting in the victim getting suspended for a previous fight. After going back and forth at school and through social media, they decided to pick an off-campus location to mutually meet up and fight. Unfortunately, in fights, someone wins and someone loses. This time, Kaylee happened to lose. After watching the video, I immediately saw Marnice do the one thing I haven't seen many people in high-profile cases do, and that's show remorse. Like she didn't mean for it to go that far. My take is this. I don't know what Missouri's actual law is, but the bar has already been set. St. Louis just recently had a 17-year-old murder suspect who escaped juvenile, not charged as an adult. And what was so disturbing about the matter was since he was a minor, when he escaped, his information wasn't released to the public. Any person that has committed murder and willing to flee from authoritative custody is definitely a threat to the public. So my question, is Missouri saying that a fight is worse than a murder? A young lady just lost her legs because of a lenient system that allows someone that violated the terms of their probation over 100 times to just walk free. With that being said, it's not fair for the system to go so hard on someone who is just being bullied and influenced by social media, amongst other things, to be overcharged because you were soft on someone else. I also have several suggestions that would curb some of the violence amongst the youth in this city and this state. They say that people don't get involved, so that's what I'm trying to do. Get involved. The time to address this matter is coming to a close quickly. That established, your prompt response is greatly appreciated. Please contact me at 314-282-5086 and the email contact.mike.e.justice.stl@gmail.com.
All right. Yeah, I know some of y'all that might have been probably about 2 minutes more than you was willing to give up of your life. But I hope you really listened to the letter that I sent to them. I tried to be very detailed, tell them, what the whole purpose of me sending them that letter was about, and really try to let them know that if you want people to step up and get involved, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. And as you see, I didn't get any response. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I know they don't have time all the time to read that, but they pay people a lot of money that's supposed to navigate through that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you don't have the time, have some type of line where I could just call and record a statement or do something. They didn't have anything. And that was the only thing that I knew to do.
Yeah. I bet you if it was something sensational, they'd have read it.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean?
And that's basically what the lady told me, that a high-profile case like that, it has been so much of the back and forth and the extra put out there that, at this point, they're almost too scared to even touch something like that, basically, in so many words. You had another letter that I...
Well, that was the second letter, but yeah, we do have another letter if you want to get into it.
Let me see how we looking on time. Well, this is what we'll do. We'll hold that for next week.
Okay.
And we'll just let them, just want people to know. That's enough to let them know, man, that we really have been trying to put this whole thing together. What we going to do, man, we going to take a quick little 2-minute break, man. Just give people just time. If somebody want to call in, that way you could get your mind right, get yourself all together. You want to play this 3 out of 5. If not, it's my week, so I'll give it to my mans and see if he want to jam it for y'all. I think... I wrote it down. I think it's my week to pay the money or whatever. To put the 50 in there because we just try to make it more fair. Nobody want to call in. They get too scared sometimes, so we just do it amongst each other. And the $50 goes in the pot. We trying to send 100 kids to the dentist. If y'all follow us, we up to like $650 or maybe $700. I had to check the book. We said maybe when we get up to 1,000, we're going to try to just start taking as many people as we can. Hopefully, when our non-for-profit get up in the next couple of weeks, we could get some real prominent local people to help us with that. And that goal of taking 100 people, which is $20,000, it'll be easier to reach that goal with some help from some of these big prominent people in the St. Louis area. So that's what we got going on, y'all. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break. When we come back, we're going to try to jam some 3 out of 5 and do the round that go down, just lighten the show up a little bit. I didn't want to get too much off in it. Next week is our first of the month show. I love to turn up on that one. So, hopefully I didn't put y'all to sleep because I didn't get all extra animated with it. But this has been very informative to me, and I just want to let y'all know that we are in the process of trying to clean up some of this mess around here. So, y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Dang.
Man, I'm done.
You going home? You got a curfew or something?
Nah, man, I'm finna watch the Mikey Justice show.
The Mikey Justice show. That for grown people?
Nah, really, bro. They talk about stuff, pretending this. They talk about school shootings, everything. I even seen a 6th grader call in.
For real?
Yes, sir.
You think I could come to your house and watch it with you, man?
Hey, man, that's whatever.
All right. Totally, let's go.
Hey, check out the Mikey Justice Show, the podcast with a purpose. Live Wednesday nights from 7:30 to 8:30 on Facebook and YouTube.
You don't want to miss it.
All right, y'all. We coming back in live. Next segment, I just started, man. That I like to do before we get off into that 3 out of 5, man. Is real or fake beef. Heard your boy Chris Breezy dropped the old diss record on Quavo. Did you hear that?
Nah.
Oh man. You know, a lot of people still acting all surprised like they didn't know that Chris Brown rap. You know, you know, I've been hearing him for quite a while, and then you know he did the "Look at Me Now" with Busted and everything. I seen the I remember the cipher he did on the BET Awards and stuff like that. So yeah, I've been knowing Chris Breezy to have a little spit in him. You know what I'm saying? But man, the diss track. It's just so ridiculous, and everybody, this just like the Kendrick Lamar, Drake, and J. Cole beef. They're like, man, is it real or is it fake, man? You know, I told you I don't be knowing, bro. If you heard the diss track, I mean, he really tried to go in on Quavo. You hear me? Yeah, dude said, you had my ex-hoe, and I don't care because this and that, and he said that Quavo referenced him beating Rihanna and all of this, and he was like, you beat your baby mama, and we got a video of it on the elevator and all this whole stuff. And what else he said? He was like, when Takeoff got killed, nigga, I wish it was you, and all this whole other stuff. And to me, I was like, if it is fake, bro, y'all going a little bit too far, because once again, the public perception of it make it something all the way different. Them words real. So like I said, bro, we're seeing all the man, I'm talking about endless people, bro. King Von, Nipsey Hussle. It's just been too many people associated with hip hop who have been taken out of here. Yeah. And hip hop to me is one of those beautiful things that we supposed to cherish. Yeah. It's one of those things, like I say, playing basketball. Yeah. It's one of those extra special privileges that you get to be able to change your life, get out the hood and do some good for you and your family. You hear me? So don't do anything to damage that. You hear me? Right. Our opportunities are very limited, bro. We don't have the same opportunities as them. You hear me? And that's one of those ones that you can control, and really social media has little to nothing to do with it at this point. You hear me? But music in itself, man, it's an art. It's so much a part of everyday living, man. Don't damage it by creating all this old fake and unnecessary beef. Right. I was like, if it's for the record, bro, then y'all should just keep it to that. If it is real, I hope y'all, you know, come together and fix that. But if you listen to it, I know with the few statements I told you, wish it was you that died. I effed your hoe. What do you say? You be beating on your girlfriend, and you talking about me beating on women. Oh man, y'all beating women. You know what I'm saying? Right. Y'all sitting up here talking about you want people to die. That's just too much. Yeah, so if it's real beef, I hope y'all squash it. And if it's fake beef, just cut it out, kill that, move on. It just, somebody commented like, why is everybody beefing now? I don't know if this whole thing, you know, I didn't know, like I told my mans, you know, that I used to work with, I say, ever since Takeoff's death, Migos haven't really been relevant. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that was some type of publicity thing to get their name back out here. But I remember before, like, when everybody started using the term, nobody don't want no smoke. I remember actually the Migos being one of the first people to say that. Chris Brown don't want no smoke. And this and that. So that little thing been going back and forth with them for a while, bro. For a long time. I don't know what that beef between those two guys is, man, but I just hope that nothing stupid happened and we end up losing two more young talented brothers to some old extra fake social media beef. Stuff, bro. Yeah, and with that being said, man, to me, you know, like I said, I don't know. I hope it's fake beef. But moving on, man, to 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5 ain't bad.
We ain't had nobody call in, my brother. So you, I think this is.
I'm up to bat, huh?
Yeah, you gave it to old Mr. Don Bo last week, so I guess it's my turn.
Good.
I ain't gonna snake you, my brother. I ain't gonna lie. I did write it down whose time it is to deposit the 50. We can discuss it when we get off the air. You know me. If you let me call it heads or tails, I'm always say it's you. Right. You hold the money. It ain't my turn. It's your turn, but it might be my turn. You hear me?
Right.
I don't know how simple or easy these are going to be. I thought with everything that we've been talking about lately, and how we got to get our research and where we get our little 3 out of 5, I thought you should be able to probably answer this one.
All right, okay.
But I don't know, my brother. We'll see. First question. We talked about Mr. Thurgood Marshall being the first black ever appointed to the Supreme Court, and Clarence Thomas being the second.
Yep.
Which one of them has served the longest, and how many years have they served in the Supreme Court?
You say between Clarence Thomas and Thurgood Marshall.
Which one of them you think have served the longest, and how long was it? Has it been?
I'm going to go with Thurgood Marshall. And for some reason, 53, the number 53 is popping in my head.
Okay, we'll come back to it in a second, my brother. We talked a lot about the women's game advancing this year and how much we enjoy watching the women play basketball. You had people like Caitlin Clark. You had my girl Angel Reese. You know, I say I'm an Angel Reese fan now, bro.
Yeah.
And you had what did I say? Paige Beckers. You had Miss Juju Watkins. So this question is about Miss Juju Watkins.
All right.
What is her real name?
Juju.
Okay, good answer. We're going to come back to that one in a minute.
Miss Watkins.
You know, like we said, man, trying to give them 2-hit wonders, them second people to remix some shine. It was all about Thurgood Marshall. We say who was number 2, old Clarence Thomas. So I'm going to go number 2, the old WNBA draft. Everybody know that Miss Caitlin Clark went number 1. What female went number 2 in the WNBA draft?
Brink.
Okay, we'll come back to that one. Okay, good series going on between them good old Lakers and those defending champion Denver Nuggets. As you know, Denver took the 2-0 lead in that series. They won the second game on a game-winning shot by who? Who hit the game-winning shot for those Denver Nuggets?
I want to say Jamal Murray.
Okay, that's your answer, Jamal Murray. Okay, we'll go back to the top. Started with the 5. I say Thurgood Marshall and Clarence Thomas. 1 and 2, black Supreme Court justice. Which one of them served the longest? You said Thurgood Marshall. You are absolutely wrong. It was Clarence Thomas.
Wow.
Thurgood Marshall retired in 1991 after serving 24 years in the Supreme Court.
Wow.
Died in 1993. Surprised me because, you know, the way he's so associated to black history and being one of the first, I thought it was way back. I didn't know it was that close in these terms.
So what, did he get appointed in 50-something?
No. If he retired in 91 and served 24 years,
70s?
that means that it had to be late 60s.
Wow. Okay.
You know, around that Martin Luther King time.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 50s.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he went to class with Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass. I was thinking he ate lunch with them. You hear me?
Right.
He's part of that whole Black History movement. When they talk about those, probably those few that they do name. You know, there's George Washington Carver, Harriet Tubman, and Thurgood Marshall.
Yeah, Frederick Douglass.
So, I was surprised.
Yeah, you know how they go.
And Clarence Thomas has been in it since he retired in 91. So as of now,
I remember Clarence Thomas been in it since the 90s, but I thought.
So as of now, Clarence Thomas has been a member of the Supreme Court for 33 years. Wow, ain't that something?
Yeah. We got a caller calling in, but we get to him after we do the segment.
All right, Miss Juju Watkins. Her name is I think she pronounces Jadea. Judea.
Okay.
You know, my daughter would be Jadea.
Right.
And she pronounces it Jada, which is a little strange to me, but you know how we get down. Keisha with a Q. I don't know. But her real name is Jadea Skies. And then I asked you, I say, what did I say? Oh, I asked you number 4. I say, who was the number 2 pick in the WNBA draft?
I got that one right.
You said Brink.
Yeah.
We go on Jeopardy. Could you be more specific?
Who is Brink from Stanford?
Does she have a first name?
Yes.
What is her first name? Be more specific.
Her last name is Brink.
Boom, 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 boom. All right, I'm gonna let you have that one. Her name would be Cameron Brink.
Yeah,
my brother. And last question: who hit the game-winning shot the other night for the Denver Nuggets against those hated LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers?
Yeah,
You said
I
Jamal
say
Murray, huh?
Oh,
yeah. No, not you. Not you want to say. You said Jamal Murray. That was your final answer, my brother.
Right.
And you were absolutely right that time.
All right.
3 out of 5 ain't bad. 2 out of 5 is all right. And you just dropped $50 in the pot.
Damn.
Thank you, Phil. Look at my look at shit school over there, y'all. Bald head and donating $50. You all right with me, my brother? Who is the call?
I don't know. Call it.
Well, we had it's about that time, man. So
we had time.
we missed them, man. We gonna get this round in that went down before we get out of here. Maybe we catch them next time. This is number 4. Pacquiao and Marquez. They had 4 epic fights, man. First one was a draw.
Mm-hmm.
Marquez won the second one by decision. Pacquiao won the third by decision. So this is epic number 4. The round ain't that long, it was just a epic finish, and y'all gonna see that. But at the end, they give a little bit of commentary on what kind of happened in this fight. So stick around and check out the round that went down and the commentary that come after it, y'all. And we gonna holler at y'all in a minute. Roll it.
Them getting close enough. If Marquez doesn't move back, he rushes with a left hand the next time that lands right on the button.
Partially blocked that right hand by Marquez. It was thrown from a long distance.
That was the one that knocked him down earlier.
I don't think that'll happen again because I think Pacquiao has made the adjustment.
No, but he might knock him down on an uppercut or a left hook.
Yeah, he might, but I doubt it because now he's allowing Pacquiao to feint him first, and that's why Pacquiao is landing so many big shots.
What could Marquez do to stop that?
He has to get back in front of Pacquiao. He needs to either feint or he's going to stay behind.
And it looks a little bit like Marquez is having trouble breathing because of the blood in his mouth.
Pacquiao lands another straight left-hand shot. And another. No.
Two champions performing like champions.
Yes, sir. See those movements right there? That's what's causing Marquez the most trouble. Because when Pacquiao does that, Marquez doesn't really realize how close Pacquiao has gotten to him.
Marquez was off balance again. Now gets his feet back and tries to roar back to nail Pacquiao with the right hand.
Oh!
That's another knockdown.
He's not getting up, Jim.
He get up.
He's not getting up, Jim. He's not getting up.
No, he's been knocked out. A sensational right hand knockout by a bloodied Juan Manuel Marquez.
And Marquez steps back when he's coming, and here comes Marquez following with the overhand right. You see that?
Pacquiao missed the right hand.
He knew he was coming. He just caught his rhythm because that's what has enabled him to cause Pacquiao so many problems. The overhand shot, though, the looping shots, are what I told you that the weightlifting would help. Here you see this is a looping shot. So that's the shot, bam, right on the button that the weightlifting definitely will help you with.
That's the hardest and most dramatic shot we've seen in the sport since Sergio Martinez knocked out Paul Williams on November 20, 2010 in Atlantic City with a very similar shot. And Martinez is sitting about 8 feet away from where Pacquiao lies face down at that moment.
And Pacquiao had no clue that that punch was coming back at him.
Man, oh man. Hey, Pacquiao is one of my favorite. He's a legendary fighter. But after that one, I was like, I don't want to see Marquez and Pacquiao anymore. Number 4 is enough. You hear me? I was like, after a draw, the man won by split decision and flatlined him that time.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. He might not. I don't know who's the best out of Pacquiao and Mayweather, but Marquez has your number, my brother. Woo wee.
Yeah, he stopped him cold on that
Oh
one.
man, for the cheese that goes crunch. And if you don't like that, you don't like championship boxing. And with that being said, y'all, that's my time. Thank y'all for joining me. We're going to turn up next week. We're going to do that first of the month show. I don't know if anybody going to call or try to get that Democrat or Republican perspective, but you know me. I'm going to be ready. I'm going to have something for y'all. And yeah, man, got a new way that we're going to try to up that 3 out of 5 next week. You hear me? This is where I'm trying to take it. We're gonna do like a millionaire. We're gonna give them a few lifelines, try to help these people out, and make it a little bit easier for them to win that money, man. If you don't know when I ask you, and you can even use it too, bro. You say, I don't have a clue, and then I give you one. I'm gonna give you a hint, okay? So when you don't know, you say I don't have a clue, and you get one. Then you can use your second lifeline. It's either ask Phil or ask Mike. When it's your turn to ask the question, then they can ask me or they can ask you. And they can see if we know the answer. We can ask them for it. We could be their phone a friend. Their car shout out. So you got 2 options so far. You got I don't have a clue. If you want a clue, and you can ask Phil or Mike. Or number 3. Oh, okay. The last one is when you make the 5 and I make the 5, they can pick whose they want. Do they want to try to tackle your 5 or tackle my 5?
Okay.
So that's the 3 right there. They can get a clue from us. They can ask Phil or Mike, and they get the choice to either tackle my 5 or your 5.
Yeah, which 5 you want.
and take $50 or $100 from either one of us.
Right on.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Once again, I'm Mikey Justice for my man Phil. Appreciate you, and I'll see y'all in 7 of them.
Peace.
Peace.